What's up, guys? So as you all probably know, Comic-Con has been going on this past week. It's ending today, Sunday. But the big thing is Mass Effect. They didn't reveal too much of Mass Effect. I mean, even in E3 when they first teased it, the next Mass Effect, they didn't say much, and a lot of people are like, oh, they haven't shown anything and this and that, and they're kind of pissed off about it. But you gotta remember that this game is years away from release, so don't expect much. You know, this is just teasing. It's just showing where they're at right now. It's keeping us informed of whatever they have to tell us. It's just, you know, to hype the game, or to make the fans excited, to have something to look forward to, that kind of stuff. It's not really revealing anything because they really can't reveal much right now because it is so far away from release. And that is one thing that Mike Gamble said in this panel that they had. I forgot what it was called, but it was something like creating the next Mass Effect or something like that. The release date is years away. They're saying maybe 2015, but I'm thinking more like 2016, which is a really long time to wait, but I think the more production time, the better, especially when it comes to something like Mass Effect. I just want them to take their time. Mass Effect is my baby. It's my baby. When people ask me, which do you like better, Mass Effect or Dragon Age? You know how much I adore Dragon Age, but Mass Effect has always been my baby. I mean, I almost love them both the same, but I don't know. There's just something special about Mass Effect. It holds a very special place in my heart. As I already said before, the next Mass Effect is being created on the Frostbite 3 engine, which is super exciting. We've already seen a lot of the potential of the Frostbite 3 engine, especially when it comes to what BioWare uses it for when it comes to an RPG. So I'm really looking forward to what it's going to be able to do to a game like Mass Effect, include much more exploration than it has in the past, than even Mass Effect 1 had, because Mass Effect 1, that's one of the things that I really missed afterwards, was that feeling of exploration and the unknown. And that was what I adored about Mass Effect 1. So to see that returning, because they did say that they want to focus more on exploration with this game, and using the Frostbite 3 engine really allows them to take that to the next level. They said in the E3 teaser that they were going to be exploring a different region, a completely different region of space. Some people are interpreting that as a different galaxy, but you have to remember that galaxies are huge, systems within systems, and there's so much more that was uncharted, and you know, people hadn't gone to explore further down in the Milky Way, and maybe even find new races and stuff like that. So that is still a possibility, even if you do stay within the same galaxy. In a different video that I made with speculations of the next Mass Effect, I kind of hoped for maybe like going deep into space and maybe exploring a different galaxy or something like that, like taking like a group of the races that exist on the Milky Way galaxy, or in the Mass Effect trilogy, the races that we've encountered, like they go on like a deep Voyager type of thing, you know, and they start to explore more of the galaxy, or even maybe a different galaxy. I'm getting the sense that this is still in the Milky Way galaxy from what I've seen, because one, the picture that they showed of the protagonist, or the hero, has N7 armor. Now, the panelists were very keen on saying that a lot of the stuff that they showed in the panel is subject to change. There's kind of a confusion going around with the whole the hero, the protagonist that they're showing. The character looks human-like. They look humanoid. They don't look like any of the other species from what we know in Mass Effect. So a lot of people are saying it's a human. You could be female or male. You could choose your gender. Now, they did show this protagonist, but they never talked about maybe there being a choice for race, like race selection. So that is still up in the air. They could just probably be showing this character that looks humanoid. And maybe down the line they'll say, oh, by the way, here's other choices, and you could choose different races. They're not talking about race selection yet. It's a possibility that you're strictly going to be human or human-like. But, you know, it's so far down the line that race selection could be an eventual possibility. And I say human-like because some sources say that Mike Gamble confirmed that this was a human. And other sources say that Mike Gamble didn't confirm that this was a human. Gotta love the interwebs. Now let me just check my Twitter just to see if I've gotten a response as of yet. Oh my god, that is so cute. Okay, I'm seeing something completely, well, kind of related, but kind of unrelated, but I'm going to show it here just because it's absolutely adorable. That's the face model of Kaden and the face model of Samara, so I just think that's absolutely gorgeous. I love that. Anyways, getting back to what I was saying, I was looking to see if I got a response from Mike Gamble because I actually tweeted earlier today to try to confirm whether he did confirm it was a human or not. Because if he did confirm it's a human, then it's like, okay, boom. We're probably still in the Milky Way, and, you know, this is a human, this is an N7 soldier, blah, blah, blah. But if he didn't confirm that it was a human, if he left that out in the blue, and it's like, this is a possible protagonist, and he didn't say if it was human or not, there's still a possibility that this could be a different race. And you're like, okay, well, it doesn't look like any of the Mass Effect races. So it's like, could this be a completely new race that looks like a human? Maybe in a different, system in the galaxy or something. But then I was like, well, an N7 soldier in the past was strictly human. I mean, they were part of the alliance, the alliance. So, and they were to serve Earth and to protect Earth and all that. But then as of Mass Effect 3, with the multiplayer, they started to recruit different species. There is a possibility that this could be a different species, but I think the possibility is very low because of what they're talking about when it comes to the timeline. Now, they're just throwing little bits and pieces out there, like saying, this is a completely new story. There is no Shepard here. Shepard is done. His story is over, or his or her. But they will be referencing the trilogy, the old trilogy. So they are going to be mentioning it every now and then in the game. And there might even be appearances of old characters, of previous characters from the trilogy. So it's like, okay, if there is going to be mention of the trilogy, and there's probably going to be even cameos of previous characters, this is probably not going to take place too far into the future. I think it is going to take place maybe after Mass Effect 3, but I'm thinking not too far ahead. Because if you look at a lot of the pictures, the technology that you see is not that advanced. And if this was going to be, I mean, we're talking about Mass Effect here. The technology is crazy. I mean, it's like super advanced. So if you were to jump quite a few years into the future, I was like, man, this is going to take place like way into the future, you would see a difference in the technology, I feel. So I'm thinking this is going to take place maybe a few years after Mass Effect 3, maybe even immediately after Mass Effect 3, and some people are even speculating that it's going to take place during Shepard's lifetime. So this could be a new protagonist that is maybe on a mission in a different part of space. They are in an N7, but the different ends, like N6, if it would be interesting if this was an N6 soldier, because they are actually tasked with actually going deep into space. They're like parachuters and stuff. So I would like to see something different, not just the N7s. I was thinking about this and I was like, okay, with what they're talking about, them wanting to go into the whole exploration thing, I was like, what if it takes place like maybe directly after Mass Effect 3? What if it just follows a set of characters trying to figure out a way of traversing the galaxy now because of the mass relays, because of the breaking down of the mass relays. This does present the problem. Now BioWare probably has a solution to this, whether it's a canon ending or whether it's some kind of idea that they have that they're going to incorporate. There is the issue of what ending are they going to incorporate? I mean, it's going to be very hard to incorporate different endings, but what if they make something like the Keep, like the Dragon Age Keep, the Mass Effect Keep or whatever, and they make you make all of your decisions in this Keep thing, and then you import it into the next Mass Effect game, and you get a specific, you know, your choices actually matter. That would be really hard to do, because especially if, say, you chose Synthesis, I mean, that's going to be a completely different game, because Control and Destroy, they could kind of, you know, have like a similar storyline because it only deals with the Reapers. But with Synthesis, it's like, it's completely different because it actually changed the DNA of everyone. That's still up in the air. I have no idea how they would do it, but I was interested in that concept of like, what if they have to find a way of traversing the galaxy all over again, and there's this sense of deep space exploration, or what if they found a way to make one of the mass relays functional again or something, and they ended up stuck somewhere in space, somewhere like completely uncharted or something, where they end up having to explore new planets and stuff like this, so that they could find resources or find a way to survive or something. It's kind of like the dawn of a new era kind of thing for Mass Effect. And of course, if this does take place during Shepard's lifetime, but in a completely different region of space, they don't have the issue of the endings. And they don't really have the issue of the Reaper threat, because they are in a different section of space. Maybe there's another threat. Maybe there's something else out there. Even if the possibility is still there, where you're just like, oh, well, if it hasn't been confirmed to be as being a human, maybe it is another race from a different system and it looks like a human, or it has the body of a human, but it's a different race. Like once you take that helmet off, it's like this freaking green thing, and you're like, whoa! But I mean, for it to become an N7, they weren't recruiting different species until Mass Effect 3. It would be weird anyways to be like, okay, yeah, different, we just discovered this new race, you want to be an N7? Especially when it comes to the Alliance, it's really hard for them to trust a completely new species like that. I think that this is a human. One thing that I was super excited to see was the return of the Mako. I am a Mako girl. Hammerhead, you could leave my life, even though that Mako would like flip and like fall and whatever. You could actually get up that damn mountain. It took you forever, but you could get up there, and you felt like a boss when you finally got up there, like freaking an hour later, and you're like, I told you I was gonna make it. And you would twirl down the mountain again and then land on your feet again and be like, whoa. But that Hammerhead, I hope they destroyed that thing, and it would not be hard to destroy that thing, because that thing literally had no shields. That thing literally blew up every time you sneezed. I hated that thing so much. So I am happy to see the Mako. Now, they did add some changes, actually. They took off the cannons. I don't know how I feel about that. I really liked the cannons on my Mako. They're really working on the physics of it so that they could have it respond better, because of how many people criticized the way that the Mako was maneuvered. Now, I even though I love the Mako, I'm not gonna deny that it was it had some pretty bad controls or maneuverability, but I'm telling you, it always landed on its feet. It's also faster, and they're thinking of maybe adding customization to the Mako, which I was like, I swear I would make mine hot pink with like flowers on it or something. It's so perfect. They're also saying that we will see a bit of the old mixed with the new. They're also focusing on trying to add more customization. Since we're so far ahead from the actual release date, there is no news of the composer, but I'm almost 100% sure they're going to bring back Sam Hewlett. I mean, Mass Effect has this traditional sound that I don't think many composers could imitate it. We will have aliens in our party. I could have told you that, but hey, it's been confirmed. A lot of people have been saying, oh, the Krogan is returning. But if you look at that teaser from E3, that Krogan looks different. There's something different about it. And I was like, is something going on? Is the Krogan evolving? This takes place after Mass Effect 3. The cure for the genophage has it, even if you didn't cure the Krogan or the genophage, maybe they eventually do. Does that have a change? Does that make Krogan different? I can't see perfectly. I've tried to highlight it. I've tried to zoom in, but it's just I can't tell. The quality isn't very good. I can't find like a really good quality video of that, but I can't tell, but it looks like that Krogan has a horn coming out of his head. And I was like, now it could just be some kind of accessory or something, or maybe it's just the lighting, or I don't know, but I was like, that Krogan looks different to me. I don't know if it's just me. Let me know in the comments down below. Is it just me? Or do you guys think that Krogan looks weird? And when it comes to multiplayer, BioWare prefers cooperative multiplayer over competitive. I'm sure they're going to make the next Mass Effect have multiplayer, because Mass Effect 3 multiplayer was successful. And most importantly, the return of lens flare. Y'all know it's not a Mass Effect game without lens flare. That made me very happy to see the lens flare. I was like, oh, hallelujah. We got a Mass Effect game. Oh, and they also said, as I've said many times before, that the next Mass Effect game will not be called Mass Effect 4 because Shepard is no more. Oh my god. That was beautiful. That was so beautiful. I am the first Mass Effect poet, and I'm proud of it. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it when it comes to the next Mass Effect news released at San Diego Comic-Con this weekend or yesterday. Anyways, let me know in the comments down below what you think of all the pretty pictures. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.